Hi Thierry, good afternoon.
Hi there, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Welcome back. Yeah, we hear you perfectly. You can start your product pitch, share your screen. And actually, I see you already shared it. Here we are. Right.
Great. Thanks, Enzo. Good. First of all, very excited to be here on the show again and look forward to cover the topic around benchmarking. So my name is Thierry Collard. I'm Global Commercial and Partner Manager with OTA Insight. So let's first start with a quick introduction about OTA Insight. We are a data and BI provider to the hospitality industry. We provide a suite of solutions to empower hotels to make smarter revenue, distribution, and marketing decisions. Today, we support over 55,000 independent, local, and global chain properties in over 185 countries. And this all supported by over 190 amazing colleagues across the globe. Our mission is really to help hotels navigate through the challenging distribution landscape and offer solutions that increase profitability and revenues by offering actionable insights. We are very humbled and fortunate to work together with the leading hotel companies, and our solutions are all based on customer feedback. And being a global company all over the world, it really helps us make decisions based on customer feedback that we get from our customer base globally. And let's go to the next slide. There we go. Just a quick introduction to our solutions and how we help hotels. So firstly, Rate Insight, our bread and butter, a rate shopping solution, and it's much more than a rate shopping solution because we also include demand, a predictive solution in there. We look at ranking and review data, at parity data, and also we have an events and holiday calendar. Then second, we have a market insight solution, which is our newest solution actually, which we launched in September last year. And it's really a demand predictive solution where we include upper funnel search data, where we really help our customer base to spot the earliest signs of recovery. Thirdly is Parity Insight, which is our chain parity solution for hotel groups, hotel chains, where we really help them to spot and resolve parity issues. And lastly is Revenue Insight, which is our BI solution, where we look at all the PMS data and make it actionable for our users to really analyze data and drill down into the very granular level, and really helps them to find answers quickly. And lastly, from the introduction, we're extremely humbled and proud to be awarded the first place in 3 categories on Hotel Tech Report. These awards are based on verified user feedback, and we're extremely thankful to our partners and customers for making this happen. Good, let's dive right into it. So we've really entered a new era of revenue management. But the global pandemic has had a huge impact on the hospitality industry over the last 1.5 years, causing significant changes. Firstly, we can conclude that competition for the consumer increased considerably. With corporate business being down, everyone is competing to win leisure business. Hotels focusing on corporate and MICE often have less favorable locations than primary leisure hotels. And for them, even a bigger challenge, because to win them over, they have to offer better rates than hotels with a prime location. We also see, compared to 2019, there are still few corporate meetings or conventions. Hotel demand has shifted almost entirely to leisure, and hotels are focused on what was previously only a small segment of their business. And this all leading to a very dynamic competition. Also with the alternative accommodations increasingly becoming more popular. And actually, alternative accommodation, vacation rentals, now count almost a third of bookings for accommodations. In 2020, Airbnb and Vrbo account for almost 30% of total lodging revenues in the US and elsewhere. So something to really keep an eye on, and we have to adapt to the changes in consumer behavior. With increased competition, there are more and more challenges. So traditional revenue strategies that relied on historical analysis and standard static pricing simply no longer work. Since patterns change significantly, the moment something unexpected happens, that is when the guessing game starts. So the new normal, the functional revenue leader, where at the corporate level or on property, now relies on the new data and agile strategies that can be adjusted quickly and easily to adapt shifting conditions. So the new normal is really looking at a dynamic comp set and pre-booking upper funnel data, which we've already heard a few times during the last, I think, 1.5 hour. And then really going to hotels, we have to continue innovating and make data-driven decisions. So therefore, let's look at data-driven benchmarking. And then firstly, how to rethink your competition. Well, first of all, over the last few months, we have done a study with some of our users, and actually almost 60% of them indicated that they'll be reevaluating their concept post-COVID-19. But actually, how? So in order to ensure you're well positioned against the most relevant concepts, the industry will need to leverage forward-looking dynamic concept data to better anticipate future demands. And with dynamic concept data, you're no longer constrained by comparing your hotel against a static group of hotels that were determined before COVID. So think of who our travelers actually looking at before looking at your property. Those are the hotels that might be stealing guests in the decision-making process if we are not priced right or have not invested in our exposure. So competitor sets are dynamic, and they will and must change in line with the travelers that are interested to travel right now. So at OTA Insight, we launched an industry-first smart comp set, which really helps identify similar competitors based on consumer search behavior in your market. And with a smart comp set, you're able to position yourself strategically among your smart comp set to compare pricing strategies versus your competitors. And then get to know your new competition. So again, you're no longer competing with your traditional comp set. Competition will continue to evolve. Exactly know when competitors in your market will reopen for business, and also understand this by using data for which days and periods you are competing with which hotels in your market, because that might differ for weekends, weekdays, for different periods. That might really differ. And again, looking at consumer search behavior. And lastly here, just strategies ahead of the curve and make sure to be on top of the market and competition at all times. Then after identifying your competition, really ensure you capture the earliest demand out there by using upper funnel data. Because once you know who your new competitors are and which guests are looking to come and when and where, you can attract direct business with competitive loyalty rates and competitive deals for the right length of stay. So seize the opportunity, get ahead of the competition by understanding the pricing strategies of your new comp set. And that's really, I think, where we come in place. So after defining your new comp set, it's critical that you understand their strategies. So the first example here is we look at brand.com, the owner of the website, public versus member-only rates. Because even though maybe you don't have member rates yourself, probably you are competing with other hotels in your market that do offer member rates. So the example I want to showcase here is you can exactly see for each competitor, well, which competitor is applying member rate discounts, and actually how are they being yielded across different days. So in the example here, we can see that on some days, maybe a competitor is only providing a 2% discount, but on other days, maybe up to 15%. The second example I want to show here is looking at length of stay discounting. So we're looking at length of stay 1 versus length of stay 3. And again, the example here, what we see, this comp set, there's only 2 hotels actually applying length of stay discounts. And we can see that they vary from 4 till 10% depending on the day. And then maybe a last tip here, really make sure that you're available for longer length of stays, up to a length of stay 30, for example, because with COVID, new segments have come up, have been identified, for example, looking at the digital nomad. So really make sure you have that longer length of stay, attractive pricing in place to make sure you can attract those potential new segments. And then lastly, monitor the recovery and optimize for last minute trends. We actually very recently launched a new free benchmarking tool for our customer base to really allow them to track their own occupancy and pick momentum day after day versus a city level benchmark to spot the early signs of demand on your market. So really stay on top of rapidly changing booking trends and shortening booking windows, but on the books data being updated every single day. So I think great opportunity to stay ahead of the market and know exactly forward-looking on the books for your market. This can be a great addition to existing benchmark reports hotels may already use. That was the end. One more thing, stay tuned, keep our company LinkedIn profile within your radar, because in the next couple of weeks, we're launching a very interesting new strategy feature. So stay tuned. And yeah, thanks so much for your time. I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Okay, cool. Right, so it's going to start. Federica, do you have
with
something?
pleasure. I have some questions indeed. So the first one, I would like to understand if you talked about consumer behaviors so that you can track them. I would like to better understand what exactly. So I understood that you can track, for example, hotel searches or flight searches, and what other data in order to understand, the behavior of the consumer.
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks, Federica. So yeah, first of all, what we look at OTA Insight is we look both at hotel searches and also flight search data, because we know typically consumers first look at flights, book a flight, and then look at hotels. So we want to make sure we give the full picture and give them insights. Okay, how many people are looking for flights to your market, but also where they're looking from. So you know exactly which areas or which point of sale, for example, to target to get the most out of your marketing spend, for example. And then also we look at hotel searches, where we also look at for which length of stay are they planning to stay. So you know to potentially put a promotion out there or a certain offer for a particular length of stay for a particular point of sale. So yeah, it's indeed both flight and hotel search data we look at today.
Okay, thank you. Can I just another very quickly? Thank you. So, quick. So, you said that if I understood well, so now you can also gather data from PMS. Is that right? Okay. So, are you able to track all the on the book of a competitive set of hotels or destination, and also break down into segments?
Yeah, it's a great question. Indeed, we have different integration with PMS systems. They're great partners of ours. And indeed, we show the own hotel on the books versus the market on the books. So we really look at the entire market, not at a comp set, especially with the change in the dynamic comp set landscape right now. But indeed, it's comparing versus the market on a daily basis. We don't break it down by segment at this stage, but that might be actually a great suggestion going forward.
Thank you.
Scott, you're on mute.
Sorry, first webinar. First of all, Thierry, welcome. I have to disclose also love your product. We work with you. My students work with your product. We've had some really, really cool stuff looking at the future data and some actual successes where they were able to recommend to hotels geo-targeted e-commerce kind of promotions 2 months in advance, one specifically for Florida hotels that was targeting the 2 weeks of school break for the state of New York, which people that know the United States, it's kind of a thing. And they were able to find it in time to market towards it and actually take advantage of it instead of in some of the rearview mirror kind of metrics that we're used to. So I'm wondering if you could just kind of share with us, if somebody what's your experience from a hotel that is not super involved into one that kind of jumps fully on board and starts taking advantage and really listen to you guys? Like, what sort of, I guess maybe even anecdotally, what do you find the benefits to be? Let me ask you like that.
Yeah, well, thanks, Scott. I appreciate the feedback. I'll definitely share it with the teams internally. But I think, first of all, we allow hotels to test it for free. They can trial it, test it out. We also try to educate them during that trial period, because for a lot of hoteliers, it's new, right? Looking at traveler intent data, upper funnel search data. So we definitely try to educate them as well how to best use the data. But yeah, I think long story short, I would say reach out. We'll provide you with a free trial, and we'll go from there.
All right, amazing. Thank you, Thierry. I'll see you. I think you have a couple more. We have a couple more episodes. In some of them, you're still taking part of it, right? As OTA Insight. I'm not sure about you, but OTA Insight is a big star in our cities. Really, I see you every week and every episode. So Always interesting. All right. Thank you, Thierry. I'll see you soon.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.